Hey, how's it going? I'm the weekend guy for weather at Fox 29. So
Hi,
I
Drew.
just wanted to ask you guys, what's the decision like for delaying a game or calling off the game since we'll have a couple hours of light, steady rain tomorrow? How does the decision get made?
Usually it's made by MLB during the playoffs, and what they want to do is have a big enough window to start the game and finish it. They do not want a rain delay. They don't want one team to get lose their starter and the other team gets an advantage. So they want to make sure that there's no delays. They got enough time to get it in.
Would it matter if it's light versus if it's heavy, or if it's just steady? That would be something that they would say, maybe let's hold up.
Yeah, if it's really light, misty, and it's not going to get any heavier, they may start it.
Okay, thank you so much.
If it's going to be moderate to heavy rain, they won't start it.
Next, we'll go to Jim Salisbury and then Todd Zielecki.
Hey, Rob, what are your expectations for Noah tomorrow night, and kind of how do you anticipate deploying him?
Well, he hasn't had a real start really since probably the middle of September. And he's probably his highest pitch count's like around 35 pitches. So he's a big, strong guy. It's the World Series. So we'll see how he does, see how he feels, constantly communicate with him as he comes off the field. If he's throwing the ball well and he's not rusty and he's sharp, we'll keep going as long as he feels good.
Is that 9-out thing one time through the lineup, kind of in your mind, though, as a guideline, given that he did that so well against Atlanta?
I guess, but I mean, I could really see him going a little bit further than that too. So, we'll see. But I think that 3-inning mark is probably 3-4 innings, probably where we're at. And
you think this is a pressure start for him in terms of, like you said, he hasn't really had a real quote unquote start in quite some time, and it's tied 1-1, and this is a swing game. And did you consider the pressure you'd put on him as opposed to maybe going with Ranger, who has started more games recently, on short rest?
Well, the one thing is that I believe Noah started in a World Series game and Ranger hasn't. So, there's probably going to be a certain amount of pressure on Ranger too, although we all know how he handles that. So, yeah, I don't really worry too much about Noah, about, his nerves and getting caught up in the moment. He's a pretty steady guy, and he's been through it before. So I feel pretty confident in that.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Rob, going back to Suarez, since he pitched in relief in game 1, does that affect his ability to go out and make a normal start, quote unquote? I think he threw five in the NLCS. Could he hit that mark, go beyond, or is he maybe more limited now?
No, I think he can get there. I really do. We kind of treat that relief outing in Houston as sort of a super bullpen. It's a little more taxing than a normal bullpen, but I think he'll be in good shape. And kind of the same as Noah, though. We'll be talking and constantly communicating with him when he comes off the field and how you feeling, tired, fatigued, all that type of thing. So again, Ranger's a different cat. He's pretty calm, and I feel good about him as well.
And I guess just generally speaking, how much of a challenge are these next 2 games going to be in the sense that you're going to be doing a lot of mixing and matching and with all of your relievers for potentially a lot of innings for 2 straight games? Yeah,
it's going to be, that's why we put Ranger game 4, to give him that extra day. That may give him, an extra 20, 25 pitches as opposed to going game 3. But yeah, we're going to be using the bullpen, and I have a lot of confidence in everybody out of that bullpen. So we'll be grinding on them a little bit for sure.
And then I got one last one is you have made a point not to change your lineup at all. Righty lineup, lefty lineup, but Stott has been so good.
So good.
With really long at bats. I think he's seen like more pitches per plate appearance than anybody else in the postseason. Does that give you any pause or any consideration next time if you do face a lefty, whatever, keeping him in there regardless?
Yeah, I think so. you're right, Todd. This kid is he's put out quality at bats for a while now, and not just against right-handers but left-handers as well. So that's something that we'll discuss as we get closer. That'll be game 6. So we got a little bit of time to think about it, but he's been really good.
Thanks, Rob.
Any other questions for Thoms? Jim, good? All right. Rob,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm trying to figure out how to raise my hand. So maybe I do this.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
There you go. You got it.
In general, McCullers has got that great breaking ball. What's the you saw him a few weeks ago. I guess that's a good thing. What is the approach that your lineup has to take against a guy like that?
Well, I think right-hander's got to get that breaking ball close to him, and lefty's got to get it away from him so it's breaking into him and not back foot and start in the middle of the plate and ending up off. It is a good breaking ball. He throws it a lot. He throws it in any count. I think that's the key, though, is just if you're a right-handed here, just get it close to you. And
with Altuve kind of coming alive a little bit, does that change how your complete staff, has to approach that lineup, and how much of a different lineup are they when he's producing and swinging it like he did last night? I kind of look at with him, whether he's good or bad, I kind of look at him like he's going to be good all the time, because that's just, he's a good hitter. He's 3 batting titles, and I don't think you can at any time, no matter what he's doing, think of him as just an out, because he's not. At some point, he's going to get hits because he's a good hitter. Okay, thank you.
All right, last call for questions for Thoms.
Sorry. Hey, Noah, when did you find out that you were going to start? Did they tell you yesterday, before the game, after the game?
Yeah, yesterday before the game, Topper and Caleb told me they'd be starting game 3.
And I think you've only thrown no more than like 35 pitches since that last start you made in DC. How far do you think you can go knowing this? I mean, theoretically, I guess could maybe be your final start of the season. Do you think you could go more than one time through? How does your body feel right now?
I mean, yeah, I feel like I can go for as long as they'll allow me to. I mean, just now is the time as ever to empty the tanks. I mean, leave nothing left. So I'll go as long as they'll allow me.
Next, we'll go to Anthony DeComo.
Hey, Noah. It's been 7 years since you started a World Series game. You were a rookie at that time. How has your mindset changed, or how is it different maybe going to this start than it was going to that all that time ago?
I mean, 7 years just seems like a long time ago, and I was just a very naive rookie at the time. Had a lot of baseball under my belt since then to mature and to accumulate some experience. I've been in this scenario before. I think the Phillies have been in this scenario before. We're even 1-1, taking it back to the bank, where I think we're pretty dangerous. That play environment's really going to help us out. And I'm just really excited on a personal level to be able to, toe the slab and the first World Series game since 2008, and just to get back to the great, passionate fans of Philadelphia.
How much is this year in particular? How much do you feel like you've grown, kind of coming back from surgery and, reinventing yourself to a certain extent as a pitcher?
This year has really been a lot. I think once the season ends, I'm going to need quite a bit of time to decompress, just because of the roller coaster of coming back from pitching for 2 years, signing with the Angels, being with them, and then being dealt over here on August 1st, and reaching the playoffs, and just grinding out every playoff round. I love this team. I love these guys, from from the second I stepped into this clubhouse. They welcomed Marshy and myself like we're family. And you know, I can't say enough about these guys and just how talented and just good people they are.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Noah? Jim?
Thank you. I just was wondering, Noah, like, what type of responsibility do you feel here? I mean, the series is tied. It's a big swing game. You guys have not trailed in a series throughout this postseason run, and you're going to be backed by this this fan base. I mean, it's such a pivotal start in terms of how the series lines up. Where's the sense of responsibility, and what are you feeling kind of going into that?
You know, I'm just focusing on being who I can be. I'm not trying to get outside my realm of a pitcher. I've definitely learned a lot, and I feel like I've evolved as a pitcher, not just a thrower, over the course of this year. I think just the important thing for me and the team as a whole is to go out there and do what we've been doing the entire year. And, you know, it is the World Series, but we have to just play like it's a normal game and don't let the game speed up on us, and you know, just focus on executing every pitch and having really quality at bats and just being a selfless teammate.
And I was wondering, you used to warm up in the bullpen at Citizens Bank Park in a Mets uniform. Now you warm up in a Phillies uniform. What are the different things you hear from the fans in those two instances?
Well, I never had the ability to play a playoff game in wearing a Mets jersey in Citizens Bank Park, but I'm more than happy and more relieved to be wearing a Phillies jersey down to that bullpen, because I mean, those fans are on those guys from pitch one to the end of the game, and you know, they're an important part of this team and this organization as well.
Let's go back to Todd.
No, hey, if Ranger hadn't pitched in relief in game one, I mean, he might be starting tomorrow, and then you probably would be starting game four. I'm really wondering what kind of impresses you about Ranger, and just, you know, he goes from starting to coming in the seventh inning in game one of the World Series to, you know, closing out the NLCS from your experience with him these past few months.
I mean, Ranger's just a guy that has just ice in his veins, but has the Zen composure. He's probably Topper said it in the NLCS speech at the end of the game. Like his heart rate does not get too elevated. He is able to maintain his composure and focus on executing pitches. And I mean, he's a nasty pitcher. He's an unbelievable fielder as well. Congratulations to him on winning the Fielding Bible. Yeah, that's really cool.